Corbyn's EU trolling tour, Labour leader to meet Barnier and Tajani today in Brussels. Jeremy Corbyn is set to travel to Brussels tomorrow to meet with the chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier and President of the European Council Antonio Tajani. The Labour leader will attempt to thrust himself into the spotlight when he meets three prime ministers and Mr. Barnier on Thursday, according to Sky News. But it will be a blow to Theresa May, as she will also be travelling to meet European chiefs to carry out crucial talks in a bid to push Brexit talks forward. Mrs. May is facing a host of challenges, on the exit deal in Parliament, the divorce bill, and other issues. In addition, she must now contend with the opposition leader trying to upstage her. In recent weeks, EU bosses were said to be ramping up talks with Mr. Corbyn and snubbing Mrs. May over concerns she will soon be ousted. Brussels is deeply concerned about the infighting gripping the Tories and are now seeking assurances from Mr. Corbyn that he will honour any promises that he made on Brexit if he sweeps to power. A source told the Daily Telegraph, Corbyn is beginning to be taken seriously in Brussels. He has been a mystery on European affairs through the referendum and since. People didn't quite know what he wants or what he thinks, but that is changing. You have to believe that the other side's negotiating position is genuine, and you have to believe that whatever you agree along the way is going to be implemented in the future. Sources said that EU bosses have had a significant change in tone towards Labour. Mr. Corbyn will use his time in the Belgian capital to accuse Mrs. May of bungling the withdrawal process and declare that Labour stands ready to take up responsibility for the Brexit negotiations. He has also warned of the danger that Britain may crash out of the EU without a deal. He blasted, as the government's splits and Brexit bungling become ever more damaging, Labour stands ready to take up responsibility for the Brexit negotiations. A no-deal Brexit would be a bad deal for Britain, threatening jobs and living standards. It would also harm our European neighbours. That's why it's in all our interests to increase the pressure for real progress in the current talks and move on to negotiations about our future trading relationship. Mrs. May, meanwhile, is reportedly preparing for disappointment at a European Council summit on Thursday, where leaders of the remaining 27 EU member states will agree that it is too early to begin formal negotiations on a future trade relationship, as Britain had hoped. Addressing the 27 leaders over dinner in Brussels on Thursday, the PM will urge them at least to begin preparatory talks among themselves about the transition to a future relationship. A spokesperson for Mrs. May indicated that she will urge the EU 27 to concentrate on the future opportunities for cooperation, rather than the details of unstitching Britain's 44-year membership. He said, the Prime Minister will reiterate her commitment to a successful Europe with the UK as a strong and committed partner. She will urge fellow leaders to focus on the shared opportunities and challenges ahead and encourage them to move the conversation on to consideration of the future partnership and implementation period, so they are ready to engage in that discussion as soon as possible.